Okay, my YouTube people, this is my first review of a video, and I decided to review one of Dragonman's videos. I see on a lot of the Facebook group pages people recommending Dragonman because he's very inexpensive, and you can decide whether you would use him or not. Now, I do want to say, I'm no machinist. However, my father was, and we both worked at a refinery together, and I was in the machine shop quite a bit. So I do have a little of experience with how these things are supposed to be done, and how I've seen them done by very, very talented machinists. So follow along. I'll point out a few things. One of the reasons I picked Dragonman was because 25 or 30 years ago, my friend sent a set of heads to him to have a valve seat replaced. And he put the head back on the bike, and he didn't make it 20 miles down the road, and that valve seat fell out. When it fell out, it caused the piston to hit the valve. It bent the rods, and it ended up costing him a $3,000 engine rebuild. He didn't want to wait for the local guy who's been doing this for many years successfully because he knows what he's doing. So see what you think. Just my opinion. What do I know? So here we go.
How you guys doing out there? We're going to put some nickel seats, nickel alloy seats in a Panhead. First thing to do is measure it. See, we measure it here with a veneer caliper, and it measures 420 thousandths thick. That's how thick it is. So we set the digital readout here for 420.
Okay, so you just saw he mic'd the valve seat, and it's 0.420. Then he said he was going to cut the valve seat 0.420 down. Now when that valve seat's installed all the way, it's going to be flush to the combustion chamber at the top of the head. Or that's what it should be. So let's see what happens with that.
And these are the fixtures I made to hold the heads. We're going to put the flutes touching the aluminum. Okay, right there. Now we zero it out. We always use cutting oil, you know, on the aluminum cutters here. Into the old brass seat. Okay, just went to 420. So, as we put it in a fixture. See, this is what it looks like when it's countersunk.
So right there, what I see is he has a ton of chips still in that piece. Now, my experience with machining is after you do all this cutting, you have to put it in some kind of solvent and clean it really, really good to get every last chip out. So right there, you can see all the chips are still around it. Obviously, that's not clean.
Okay, I'm going to take the air.
Okay, right here again. That's nothing but chips in there.
Ratchet here. See these punches? This follows the valve guide hole, which is 3/8 of an inch. And here, see the nickel seat fits right on the punch I made. See, just like that. So we put that in here. Good. Now we got to grab the hammer.
Yeah, the chips are still all there.
And we tap it in.
Let's talk about that for a second. These antique Harley heads are very, very porous aluminum. And with the aluminum being so porous like that, you cannot take a hammer and start bashing on them like that. You'll crack that head so easy it's not even funny. The proper way, anytime you have an interference fit of generally, in this case, you want about a 3 to 4 thousandths interference fit, you would heat the aluminum up to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you take the seat and you put it in liquid nitrogen or dry ice, and that freezes it to minus 200 to minus 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That amount of cold on that valve seat would shrink it 4 to 5 thousandths without any problem whatsoever. Plus the heat on the head would cause it to expand. Then you could take that seat and drop it right in the head with no interference whatsoever. Once everything gets back up to room temperature, you would go right back to having your 4 thousandths interference fit or whatever you set the interference fit up to be. You would not have to take a hammer at any point and bang it in. That's the proper way that they do it in a good machine shop. The other thing you saw is that he didn't clean the chips out. So now there's chips underneath that seat, and he just bashed that seat in with a hammer, so those chips are underneath of it. That's a definite problem. You can't have that. All right, let's go on.
3 to 4 thousandths up to 5 thousandths interference per bit. Okay, that's what it looks like. The seat's in, but as you can see, the seat is way too high. So we have to go to the next machine and cut it down.
Yeah, the seat's too high because it's not all the way down. As you saw in the beginning, and I talked about it, the seat was 0.420. It's not all the way down because there's chips underneath. When he bangs it with the hammer like that, and it's going down, it causes the metal around it to peel away. So that's peeling under the seat, and now that's going to hold the seat up too.
And slowly, the carbide cuts the nickel alloy seat.
Right there, you can still see that that seat is clearly above where it should be in the head. Again, that should be flush with the combustion chamber and not sticking out an eighth of an inch.
All we have to do next is do a valve job.
There's a real good view of how far that valve seat is sticking out. And also, if you look at the original Panhead brass seat, you can see right there that it is flush with the top of the combustion chamber. And that's how that one's supposed to be. Right there, that line is the fact that the valve seat isn't in fully into the pocket.
There's your nickel valve seat.
What do you even say about that?
Guys have any questions? Give me a call, 719-683-2200. It costs $30 for each seat to be put in.
Would you send him your irreplaceable Panheads? I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Leave them in the comments. Would you use Dragonman? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.